Cannellini beans and lentil soup.
I love making soups, and especially beans, lentils, legumes, all sort. But first, let's make a pestata of bacon and garlic. Nice smell of bacon. Bacon is always good. Put a little bit of olive oil in a nice big pan. Then let's put the pestata of the bacon and the garlic. And then we'll make a pestata of the vegetables. The onions, carrots, and celery. And you want the bacon to render, and you want also the garlic to cook a little bit. You don't want it to be raw in the soup, even though it'll cook as it boils away, but still. Let's go in with the vegetable. I'll put a little bit of salt for the vegetables, and then a little peperoncino. I want the flavor a little picante. We have the bay leaves. Whole bay leaves, let's put them in. All right, this is going, let me make a nice hot spot. And here I'll add the tomato paste. If you throw the tomato paste right into the vegetables, it doesn't get a chance to caramelize. And at this point, I'm gonna add the water. And this is about 2 quarts of water. This soup takes about 6 quarts of water, and I'll get some more, but this is the time now to add the beans. And these are dry cannellini beans, which I soaked in water overnight, and this just drained, and put them right into the soup. You notice I didn't put any salt because the beans remain hard if you put salt. The salt we'll put at the end. I'll get the additional quarts of water, and we let this simmer for about an hour, nice and easy, until the beans get not completely cooked, because we have to add the lentils then.
So, Grandma, you were an elementary school teacher.
I was an Italian teacher for 15 years.
What are your memories?
Beautiful. At that time, we used to teach children from the 1st grade to the 5th grade. We was like a second mother.
And how old are you now?
100 finish.
100.
100, yeah.
And how does it feel to be 100? What do you feel? What do you think of life?
I have beautiful life, and I was lucky, and God's hands was all on top of my shoulder.
Yeah, but you did a lot. You worked very hard to raise your children.
Listen, it was nothing hard for me, nothing difficult for me. I was ready for anything.
You were a good worker. You were a good mother. You took care of all of us, of the house. You still. Now you don't help so much, but you help by ordering me around, telling me what to do.
But you're still my daughter.
You're right. You're right at that.
And I think I'm entitled to tell you what to do and how to do, because I have a little bit more experience than you.
You certainly do. So keep on doing. Keep on bossing me around. No problem.
So let's check the cannellini beans. I've been cooking for 1 hour. You see how nice they look? They're just about, they're not completely cooked, but about half of the water boiled down. And now we're gonna add the lentils. Just wash the lentils and add them right in. And cabbage, shredded cabbage. This is regular cabbage. And we put another 2 quarts of water to cook all of this. Okay. Press it all down, bring it back to boil, and it'll take about a half an hour for the cabbage and the lentils to cook, and then the soup will be finished. Then we'll season it with salt, and we'll have a nice plate full of soup.
The 2 major dishes at the school were pasta and soup. Plenty of soup. You know, when you're cooking, volume, soup is a great way to go. You can make it with beans, you can make it with ceci, you can make it with lentils, you can put all kinds of vegetables, you can put proteins in there. So there was a lot of soup at the Cannellini kitchen. And of course, they need a lot of vegetable. And of course, I was peeling a lot of potatoes and a lot of carrots and a lot of celery.
I think the soup should be finished. Yes, the cabbage is mellow, the beans, the lentils, ooh la la. Needs more salt. And it's ready to serve. It's really hot, but I am dying to taste some. So let's. You can see how mellow it is. The beans and the lentils, all of that has sort of kind of settled down. That looks good. What would I add here? A little bit of cheese, of course. Just like that. Just a drizzle of olive oil. And I am going to taste it all. A little bit of the olive oil, the cheese, a spoonful of goodness. Good, mellow, you know, maybe a nice piece of bread here, grilled bread. One bowl, maybe a bowl and a half, makes it a great meal.
In retrospect, the meals at the school were quite balanced and quite delicious. In the morning, they had a little merendino, a little something sweet, and lunch was usually a little bit of pasta, and then there was a little piece of meat, roast or chicken, and potatoes and vegetables, and there was also dessert. You know, apple strudel was a common dessert, and I peeled a lot of apples. So considering that this was a school, they had delicious and balanced meals, and I was part of eating them and preparing them. Ask Lidia. Let's reconnect. I'm checking my emails. Thank you for writing in, and let's see what some of the questions are. Jennifer is writing how she can thicken her red sauce, or any sauce for that matter. Well, thickening a sauce takes some starch. So a little bit of cornstarch will do. Don't use flour. Flour always kind of seems not to cook, but cornstarch, 1 teaspoon will take a long way. Will take a whole pot of sauce, so don't overdo it. So that's one way of doing it. The second is blast the flame. Be careful that doesn't scorch, and let the water evaporate, and it will condense. Sometimes when I do fish sauces, like clams or mussels, and they're too, with wine, and they're too juicy, I put at the end a little bit of breadcrumbs. The breadcrumbs will densen the sauce. It will make a nice creamy sauce with those delicious mussels. So you have a few options here, Jennifer. So Carolyn, she writes, I have a hard time keeping any dish, but especially pasta, hot from the stove to the plate. By the time I sit down, it cools off. Any suggestions? Well, pasta is sensitive, so you have to be fast about it. Fish out the hot pasta from the boiling water, put it right in the sauce. Or you can drain it, but be quick, and then throw the pasta in the sauce and reheat it in the sauce. Let it absorb the sauce. Let it get very hot. Make sure that the plates that you're gonna put it on, the bowls that you're gonna put it in, are warm. So keep them in the oven. Even the pilot light of the oven will warm up your plates if you put them in early enough. Or if you really wanna go rustic, I sometimes bring the whole pot, nice and hot pot, put a coaster on the table and put that in the middle of the table with a spoon and let everybody fend for themselves. Now we have Janet. I love making soup, but never know if I should add pasta, rice, or just pieces of toasted bread to it to make it more filling. Do you have any suggestions on when to use rice, pasta, or bread? Or should I always be free to switch it up? I think, switching it up is perfectly fine. If you had pasta yesterday, then do rice today. So also balance your meals. Keep in mind that pasta and rice and bread, if put in advance in the soup and then the soup is reheated, that will all overcooked. Usually, you know, in the ribollita, the Tuscan with lots of vegetables, they put bread and they reboil the whole thing. Zuppa pavese is a clear soup with a whole piece of bread in it and the egg on top of it, so it enriches it that way. I like pasta with bean-based soups. You know, I like pasta fagioli, ceci e pasta, those kind of soups. I like rice with a lot of vegetable soups. So it's your choice. So guys, I had a lot of good questions, good valid questions. I hope I gave you answers that will please you and that will work for you. Keep on writing.